we're about to look deeper into this because I feel bad for the. I do feel bad for the freaking Giants, man. Okay, chat. So we're back with another situation, all right? And with this being said, this is going in to um yeah. So we're going to look at the plays and we're going to go over what teams may or may not win. And I'm going to break down the reason why because I'm not going to sit here and discredit any team. Every single one of these teams are doing freaking phenomenal. Okay. So here you have the Ravens and you have the Dolphins. The Dolphins just came off a pretty nice win. Um, Tua looked freaking good. I'm not going to give him great, but he looked freaking good. Okay. Tua just came off one of the hardest freaking dubs because, like, here, okay, Baltimore is projected to be a fan favorite for winning. Um, I'm pretty sure, and I got my fantasy stuff pulled up. Okay. Um, with the way things are looking, um, I would have to give it towards with Tua and how he started out this season. If Lamar Jackson is projected to come back during this game against the Dolphins, I have to give it to my boy Lamar, just because the fact that yeah, they're 2-5. They had that bye week. That gave Lamar Jackson more time to deal with his injury. I'm pretty sure he's just now working on coming off his hamstring injury. Don't correct me on that. But Tua, come on, man. You had must-win games and you couldn't clutch up. Okay, I'm not going to discredit him as a quarterback. He he does what he has to do. He gets out on the field. He makes plays, but it's the fact that I watch football every Thursday, Sunday, and Monday. Um, and that's excluding college. But um, in my honest opinion, and I'm gonna keep it 100. Um, Personally, Tua just can't get the job done right now. The man has suffered so many concussion injuries. It's ridiculous, and I'm impressed to see that Miami still let him stay. I know they were trying to push him to retire and end up with pay, but I mean, if he can stay healthy, if he can prevent that, then I could see him making a comeback next year because it's almost the end of the season, man. You got what, 9 games left? Um, so if Lamar does come back off of this injury, and he does start, I would have to give it to Lamar Jackson and the Ravens because, I mean, you got a stacked freaking run game, dude. You got Derek freaking Henry, dude. Zay Flowers is an okay receiver. Um, personally, Derrick Henry is probably a top 10 running back every single year. Um, Now, I will admit, even with the way Tua has been playing, Jalen Waddle, he's a great receiver. Um, Devin Achane has been looking freaking phenomenal. Um, would I put him in top 10? Probably not, just because um, you got other great running backs out there. You got other great receivers out there. Um, and I mean, by far, JSN from Seattle, he's looking absolutely great. Definitely a top 10 receiver. Um, Cortland Sutton, I feel like if he had more touches and if he didn't drop the ball as much, he would be on the top 10 this far. Um, but yeah, this game I definitely would have to give it to the Ravens. And it's no disrespect to you Miami Dolphins fans, but at the end of the day, I feel like Lamar Jackson's going to walk out with a dub. Now moving on to the Bears versus Bengals. The Bengals, I watched that game. I was disappointed. The defensive line needs to step it up. Offensively, even without Joe Burrow, Jake Browning couldn't get the job done. And in all honesty, I feel like Joe Flacco was a good addition because this man has been going off. Okay, I get it. You want a cookie? I would have to give it to the Bengals. I would have to give it to the Bengals. Just because I feel like Caleb Williams has been getting lucky with certain games. And I don't know what Joe Flacco is out for right now. Let me take a look real quick. I mean, going back to what I said earlier, okay. Jamar Chase is definitely top 3 in my opinion. Definitely a top 3 receiver this year. I would give him under JSN. T. Higgins. My God, dude. Like, T. Higgins can get the job done. But as a deep threat receiver, I would have to give it to Jamar Chase just because of the fact that this man looks amazing. He is on a path to another 1,000-yard season. I don't think there has been a single season this year that, pretty much since Jamar Chase came into the league, I am pretty sure there has not been a single season this man has not hit 1,000 yards. Chase Brown, he did really good last year. Samaje Perine, I'm pretty sure he just came back from another team. I'm pretty sure if I'm not mistaken, it was Houston. Don't correct me on that. But yeah, dude. In all honesty, I'm about to look and see what Flacco is out, or not out, but questionable with. Just because I gotta see, like what's going on at the moment. So here, it doesn't really specify anything other than he's just questionable. He's estimated to come back around the 2nd of next month. I wouldn't say he sustained any type of. Okay, I'm sorry. I take that back. Going into week 9, it says Flacco was dealing with a shoulder soreness. a shoulder soreness. Um, which, I mean, he is questionable at the moment. So, with that being said, that's nothing new to me. But I would have to give it to the Bengals. If they do start Jake Browning, I do expect more from Jake Browning, just because of the fact this man, he's done good clutching up for the Bengals in certain situations in certain years. But when you have a healthy Joe Burrow, that team is elevated by Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is not elevated by the team itself. Joe Burrow elevates that whole entire team. And without Joe Burrow, the team can't get nothing going. So, with my projection, I would have to give it to the Bengals, and I would probably say they'd have a touchdown. Maybe say the score is going to be kind of close, unless Browning manages to slip up. I would have to say it's going to be like possibly 21-17, maybe 24-17. But it's going to be one of those nail-biting games where you don't know what's going to happen. Here, I see good old Daniel Jones, man. Good old-fashioned Daniel Jones. Don't even get me started. Hear me out. Hear me out, all right? So, with everything that I'm saying, Aaron Rodgers has to be carried by the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's not like prime Aaron Rodgers where this man can throw 80 to 90 yards down the field and expect a miracle to happen. I'm not going to discredit him as a quarterback. He's going to go down as one of the greatest. I wouldn't say he's going to be the greatest. He's not going to be the GOAT. But I mean, in certain situations, Aaron Rodgers has sold in quite a few games that really mattered. Kind of like last week. Okay. I mean, you got DK Metcalf, you got Warren, and on the defensive side of things, you got Jalen Ramsey, who's been looking pretty good. You even have TJ Watt, freaking absolute crazy. Okay. But going down the list here, no offense, I wouldn't put Warren above Michael Pittman Jr. Hold up. I had a sneeze, man. Sorry about that. Daniel Jones would be in my top 5 quarterbacks for the AFC. Just because the fact this man has been looking unstoppable here recently. I'm not saying the Colts cannot be stopped, but with them being 7-1, this is crazy to say, but if he couldn't get the job done with the Giants, why is it when you get traded to a semi-decent team, at least I'll give them that. Last year they were definitely better than most teams, but they weren't playoff contenders. But when he got traded to, Indy, I found it to be kind of crazy, just because of the fact that, I will say this now. Indianapolis has Jonathan Taylor, Tyler Warren, Michael Pittman Jr. You have Daniel Jones snapping plays as a quarterback. And here's the thing that's actual stated facts. Daniel Jones, when you have a good run game, you have good players that can make deep catches, such as Mike Pittman Jr., and you got a tight end that can do and manage with short plays. He could run down the middle if he had to. Tyler Warren would be a top 10 tight end all day. I'm not going to sit here and discredit the Steelers because, and I'm not saying that just because my dad's a Steelers fan. Yeah, my dad's a Steelers fan. But in all honesty, Steelers, you got to step it up. You cannot go 3-game losing and expect a miracle to happen for you to get into the playoffs or something. You know what I'm saying? Just like when they had Russell Wilson, I think, starting last year, close to the end of the season. And they even had Justin Fields. That was an absolute shocker. They started out looking amazing. And then they started falling off a little bit. All I got to say is this game, I'm probably going to have to give it to the Colts. Now, if by any chance Aaron Rodgers does manage to get the ball downfield, prevent interceptions, I could go 50-50 because it's a harder choice because, they do got some good defensive players. They got some good offensive players. So I would say it just comes down to the game. Okay. I'm not a huge Indy fan, and I'm not saying I don't support these teams. I love watching players play. I love watching to see how teams play. But all I know is my team took a hard loss and a hard beating by the Indianapolis Colts. I believe it was week 2. And we lost by a field goal. Not only to them, but the Broncos lost to a field goal from the Chargers. The Los Angeles Chargers. So, with this game, I'm probably going to say this right here looks entirely wrong. You should not be giving it to Daniel Jones because you don't know how TJ Watt's going to react when he's on defense. You don't know how Jalen Ramsey's going to clutch up against a star receiver like Michael Pittman Jr. Okay? You can't just say that for sure. And that goes for the freaking Steelers too. So this projection, I think it should have been closer to like maybe 52-48. Just because the fact that I feel like it would be a closer game. Did you not see how they played against the Green Bay Packers last week? That game was one of the closest games I saw. Yeah, they were leading up, and then they started declining. I don't know what happened. The defense might have got tired. The offense might have got tired, but I don't know what was going on. So with that being said, I'd have to probably give it to the Colts, but if the Steelers manage to make a comeback somehow, I'd say the game's going to be scored by at least a touchdown, maybe 2. So let's say the Steelers do win. I'd say it'd be a win of maybe a touchdown, maybe a field goal. And if Indianapolis Colts win, I'm going to probably say a touchdown or 2. Just because Daniel Jones is looking remarkable. So that's my conclusion on game number 3. Uh, game number 4. Bear. Enough. 49ers Giants. I don't want to say this out of bad hopes, but the Giants took a hard L, dude. I mean, they are trying to say that the Giants are going to beat Brock Purdy and the 49ers. And I mean, that could be a possibly legit answer to everybody's problems. Just because of the fact that Jackson Dart, don't even get me started on Jackson Dart, dude. But you can't expect your team to be any better without a good run game. Cam Skattebo, I just saw an updated report where he suffered a open wound ankle dislocation. So he's probably out for the entire season. Just because of the fact that when he landed in that game, his right ankle went completely 90 degrees. If Skattebo didn't get injured, he would be in maybe top 20 running backs for me, maybe top 15, because the man looked like a freaking tank, dude. Now, moving things over to Mac Jones, Brock Purdy, and the 49ers. What the hell is going on with the 49ers, man? Christian McCaffrey. Don't even get me started on Christian McCaffrey, dude. This man is one of the greats to ever be a running back. And he's also a dual threat because this man can also catch. Okay? He don't just run. This man is a dual threat. Just like, some of these quarterbacks in the league, they are dual threat. They can run, they can throw, and they can look downfield and make sure, this is zone coverage. This could be a man blitz. You know what I'm saying? And when you have pass rushers, that's going to be a big issue. And I saw the way that the Giants were playing against the Broncos. And I'm not going to sit there and discredit the Giants. That was a freaking amazing game, dude. The Giants fans, the Eagles fans, and anybody that has lost to the Broncos this year, you cannot be mad at your team. You cannot be mad at your team. Jackson Dart is probably one of the best quarterback options that you have ever chose in the last few years since Eli Manning. And I'm going to keep it 100. Cam Skattebo is kind of starting to look like a prime Saquon Barkley when he started playing his first game in his first season and stuff with the Giants. And if he didn't get injured, I could possibly have seen him maybe averaging 100 yards that game. Close to it. And maybe another touchdown. But in all honesty, I believe this may be correct. But you also got to think, you're without your star receiver, Malik Neighbors. You're without Cam Skattebo. So how do you plan on getting the run game going? And how do you plan on getting your receiving game going? Okay. And that's all I got to say about that. Your defense might be able to hold up. Okay. But what are you going to do without your star running back and your star receiver? In the past few years, Malik Neighbors has not been able to stay healthy. This man has been injured non-stop. stop because of plays that the man has caught on. Okay? And, I mean, in all honesty, if Jackson Dart can manage to run and throw, I mean, the Giants might have a possibility of winning. Who knows? It could be by a field goal. It could be by a touchdown. But Jackson Dart is looking amazing as a quarterback for his rookie season. And I could only see him progressing farther down the line. For Mac Jones and Christian McCaffrey, if Mac Jones is questionable and he is not able to start, I don't know who they have. I know it's just Brock Purdy and Mac Jones that I've seen. But Mac Jones is not it, dude. Brock Purdy, with him being injured right now, he's not the man to do it either. You guys are 5-3. Yeah, that seems like a pretty good record, but if you guys cannot get the chains moving, and I mean, just by looking at the stats, you can see Mac Jones threw 5 picks in how many games? He threw 8 touchdowns. This is why the man was not a good starter for the Patriots. And I'm going to say that. I don't care who it makes mad. But physically, think about it. So let's say I'm a quarterback, right? Oh, you know, I got a star running back and I don't have a star receiver at the moment. Because I'm pretty sure George Kittle ain't on the top of the list right now. No disrespect to Mr. Kittle. But what happened to that star tight end that made the Super Bowl not too long ago? Injuries. Accident prone, dude. I'm telling you. How many players ended up out or injury reserved or even questionable because of hamstring injuries this year? I have counted over maybe 10 or 12 players this year so far, quarterbacks, running backs, and receivers, out for a hamstring injury. Christian McCaffrey is good on the run game. Receiving game, he's looking pretty good for having 500 yards. But do what a running back's supposed to do and get the ball going downfield. Don't let your quarterback toss the fucking ball. Okay? That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say to that. Broncos. My boys. I am a huge Denver fan, and I will come out and say this right now. This is not even a questionable game. Okay? Within the last few years, Bo Nix has been looking like the young version of John Elway. He's starting to kind of remind me of the first and second season of Peyton Manning when he came to the Denver Broncos. And anybody out there can disagree with me on that. But Bo, my dude, look, if you look at my team right now, I guarantee you right now I'm starting Bo Nix for this week. Just because Jalen Hurts he's got a bye week. Come on, load up. And as you can tell, it says 50-50 damn near. It ain't going to load, but I'm starting Bo Nix this week. Look at this team. Just look at them. Courtland Sutton, halfway to a 1,000-yard season for her second straight year. I would like to see Sutton get more touches and, stop dropping the ball as much. Same with Troy Franklin. Same with Marvin Mims. And you can't forget Pat Bryant. In all honesty, if I was Denver, I would want to trade for Jalen Waddle. I would trade Pat Bryant and maybe a first round, second round, maybe third round pick and take Jalen Waddle. And put Jalen Waddle in Pat Bryant's place. Don't even get me started on Bo Nix because at the beginning of the season, I was starting to lose a little bit of hope. When Denver went 1-2. Those 2 games where they lost by field goals was uncalled for. And if I was Coach Payton, I would have cracked down on that. I would have found a way to talk to my defensive coordinator, and I would have sat there and I would have talked to Vince Joseph, and I would have said, listen, you need to crack down on the defense. Stop letting them let up so many yards on offense. Put stops on plays that really matter most. I don't care if it's 4th and 1. I don't care if it's 4th and 5. If they think they're going for it, stop them. Bo Nix is having a phenomenal season. And in my personal opinion, I would put him up in the top 5. This man has came off an 8-touchdown game in 2 games. And that's against the Giants and the Cowboys. He's only threw 1 pick in 2 games. 1 pick. J.K. Dobbins. Don't get me started with R.J. Harvey and don't get me started with Marvin Mims. Because I remember seeing all 3 of them on the run game moving the chains, dude. Okay? So, if Bo Nix can do what he did against the Cowboys, playing Stroud and the Texans, when they are without their star receiver, and I'm pretty sure they're without Tank Dell as well. And they're also without Joe Mixon. So they have to start Nick Chubb. Don't fail me. Because offensively, we have a stacked offense. And I will be proud to admit that. Why does my phone keep freaking turning, bro? I hate that. Bo Nix, he's taking the snaps, and he's making stuff happen. Just like the game against the Giants. I saw clips. I saw Giants fans disrespecting Demaryius Thomas. I don't know how necessarily true that is. But you never know. You can sit there and say a game is rigged, but me being the Christian man I am, I'm going to sit there and I will say that I believe Demaryius Thomas was there that day. And that explains why the Denver Broncos won. They scored 33 points against the Giants with 33 seconds left. And to add the icing on the cake, Demaryius Thomas passed away at 33. RIP to that man's soul, because Demaryius Thomas would have been a star, if not a Hall of Fame receiver, if he didn't die at such a young age. And that breaks my heart. Now let's move things over to the Texans. Okay? Because I know damn well Denver's going to come in and they're going to smack you up. All right? Because on defense, we got Riley Moss. Yeah, you know what? We might be without Pat Surtain for a freaking, couple games. But, hey, it's all good because we got Drake Greenlaw. We got Talanoa Hulafanga. We got freaking – ooh, bro. Don't get me started on Jonathan Cooper, bro. Don't get me started on Nick Bonito. Nick Bonito is nasty with it. Zach Allen is nasty with it. And people are trying to say the Broncos are not it. Texans, you guys are without Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon hasn't even played a single touch this season. And that is hurting your rep. You got 9 games left to get your stuff straight. You guys started off horribly. And I'm pretty sure you guys won the last 2 of your 7 games. No disrespect. CJ Stroud, you were looking amazing the first few years. Where did all that go? Is it because you ain't got your star receiver, Nico Collins? Is it because Tank Dell's probably out? Is it because, Dalton Schultz can't make important plays like he's supposed to? You're without Joe Mixon. This man used to be a stud when he played for the Cincinnati Bengals. And he's out. What are you going to do? Use your legs. I cannot stress it enough. CJ, you are a dual threat quarterback. Just like Bo Nix, he's a dual threat quarterback. Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, freaking Josh Allen, Jordan Love. Okay? You got teams like that have that quarterback that's a dual threat. And then you have the pocket passers. It's common sense. Okay? And I'm not saying it to be a hater, bro. I'm not like that. But I'm trying to state my point from my perspective. Just like, okay, there's a few teams I can bring up. I would really, 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 really hate to be a Jets fan right now. I would hate to be a Miami fan right now. I would personally, straight up, hate to be a Giants fan right now. Just because some of these coaches need to step their game up. Man, I cannot stress it enough, bro. Jacksonville. I love you. I love you, Jags. I love you. Just because you have 2 of my favorite players on that team. Possibly 3 of my favorite players on that team. But what the hell are you doing? Literally. Look at this. You are playing a beat-up Raiders team. If you cannot win against this team and you go 4-4, you might as well kiss the playoffs goodbye. Because you're already 4-3. That's 8 games coming up this week because you just came up off of a bye week, I believe. Trevor Lawrence. I liked you since you played for Clemson. Travis Etienne Jr. I liked you since you played with Clemson. But what are we doing? Seven points in your last game. 7. Not 0, not 14, not 21, 7. And that 7 points was the one and only Travis Hunter. He is an amazing cornerback and he is an amazing receiver. Just like Brian Thomas Jr. You got to start using your star receivers more, dude. Focus on the run game. If I catch you guys throwing the ball, if you get the ball first, I'm going to be a little frustrated. You guys were looking good in the first 5 games. You guys were 4-1. And then you guys started declining. You guys went 4-0 to 4-3 real quick. Trevor, you changed a losing franchise team to being potential playoff playing badasses. But here recently, you haven't been looking like you did back in 2022 when you went 9-8, made the playoffs, beat the Chargers, and then you lost in the second round. Get your head in the game. Raiders. How's it feel that you're about to lose Max Crosby? How's it feel? Geno Smith is not him. He is not him. He is 7 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. That is a horrible record. This man is not him. You were better putting Aiden O'Connell in. But you decided to start Geno Smith. Come on, dude. Oh, brother. And look, there's your buddy Max Crosby, who might be getting traded to Dallas. Round of applause. Round of a fucking applause. You guys might lose Max Crosby. Because I saw a trade line where it said that Max Crosby might be getting traded to the Dallas Cowboys. But yet you were dumb enough to let Micah Parsons go. I'm telling you right now, if you would have kept Micah and you would have traded for freaking Max Crosby, dude, your defensive line would be untouchable. 2 of the best pass rushers that I know of. Minus Nick Bonito, but that's besides the point. Nick Bonito is an amazing pass rusher since Von Miller. But that's besides that's besides the point. Okay? Dre Greenlaw, he is a freaking stud. Just like Jonathan Cooper. Man. What in the fuck are you doing? I would really hate to be a Raiders fan right now. I'm proud of my Broncos because we're getting the chains moving and our defense is stepping the fuck up, but that's no excuse because Max Crosby should not be the only player carrying the defense. Genty. What's up, buddy? You're a good rookie. But having a quarterback that can't get the ball downfield like Geno Smith is freaking horrible. You're better off starting Aiden O'Connell and benching, if not practice squatting, Geno Smith. At least Aiden O'Connell had a pretty good, decent season last year. And I'll state that. I'll take that to my grave. Aiden O'Connell has had some really great games. But Geno Smith is not it. You got a good receiver like Genty. And not only that, but the man's good on the fucking ground. You got Tucker. You got Jacoby Myers. And you can't manage to get the ball downfield. Like, buddy. Oh, my God, dude. What the hell are you doing? What the fuck? You cannot be doing that to yourself, buddy. What the fuck are you doing? I'm just saying. What in the absolute fuck are you doing? Buddy, I fucking get it, okay? But you can't be letting this shit happen like that. At this point, with the way Geno Smith is playing, you're going to have to redo that whole fucking team. You're going to have to clear some cap space, my guy. You're going to have to try to trade for some better players or something to help Max Crosby. I'm just saying, dude. What in the fuck? You cannot waste a talent like Max Crosby with a crappy quarterback like Geno Smith, who, mind you, has 7 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. My God, dude. Just watching how the Raiders have been playing, minus Max Crosby, I got the utmost respect for Max Crosby. He is a 3-time All-Pro freaking defensive end. I got nothing but respect for Max Crosby. I got nothing but respect for Austin Genty. But Geno Smith is going to run that team into the fucking ground. You better make a change now before it's too late. And that's all I got to say. So with that being said, I got the Jags winning this. So let's go back and talk about the teams I said were going to win. I had the Giants winning. I got the Broncos definitely winning. I got the Jags winning. Here I said it could possibly be, it could be 50-50, but I said if the Steelers made a comeback, Aaron Rodgers would either win by a field goal or a touchdown. I said if the Colts won, it'd be by a touchdown or 2 touchdowns. But it's going to be it's going to be a pretty good scoring game. It's not going to be one of those boring 35-7. In this game here, people are trying to favor the Bears. Caleb Williams lucked out on most of his freaking games. I'm not saying he's a crappy quarterback, but you got lucked out by the defense plenty of times. So I'm going to have to give this to Jamar Chase and the Bengals. Hands down. And then here, God, I would really hate to be most of these teams as a fan, dude. My God. I straight said that if Lamar Jackson comes back and he's healthy to play from a hamstring injury, I said Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are going to win. Because Tua can't get nothing going. You got targets. You got freaking studs like Devin Achane. You got Jalen Waddle. If Tyreek Hill was healthy, you would even have Tyreek Hill. Shut the fuck up, Bengals. No one likes you. But like I said, Tua has good targeting, like Devin Achane, Jalen Waddle. You got motherfucking Bradley Chubb, I believe, on defense. You even had Tyreek Hill until he got injured. A healthy Tyreek Hill, that team would have been, right now they would be like possibly 5-3. Not 2-6. Just like the Ravens. If you had a healthy Lamar Jackson, you would possibly be sitting at 5-2, possibly 4-3. But yeah, so far we got Ravens, we got Bengals, we got the Colts. I swear to God, if I get one more fucking notification, dude. Hold up. I gotta make sure I got this right. Ravens, Bengals. I said possibly Colts. I said Giants. Broncos, 100% because that's my fucking team, dude. I even said the Jags. Oh, baby, this is going to be a good fucking game. Shout out to all you Buffalo fans, man. Do not fucking disappoint me against Patricia Mahomes, man. My homeboy can't get the chains moving worth the fuck, all right? This man started off 1-3, okay? Now hear me out. Hear me out, okay? Josh Allen. Look at you go, brother. This looks totally fucking wrong. Of course you freaking projectors are going to sit there and favor Kansas City, you dick riders. Come on, man. I get tired of hearing about Kansas City made the Super Bowl. Kansas City did this. Kansas City did that. I'm not going to disrespect our talent, though. Rashee Rice is all right. All right. Rashee Rice ain't that bad. But you need to start focusing on priorities like defensive instead of offense. I swear to fucking God, dude, no one cares. Stupid fucking ESPN. And in all honesty, bro, I got fucking Josh Allen on this, bro. Josh Allen, don't fucking fail me now. Put these motherfuckers 5-4. Please. Please. Do me a favor and drop Patrick Mahomes down 5-4. Because some way, somehow, when they ended up losing a ref for 10 to 12, I believe, games, all because of some bullshit in the Super Bowl, because it was a fan favoritism, I'm not going to disrespect Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to clown on him and I'm going to call him Patricia, my homeboy, but that's besides the point. The man has talent. But you're not going to win a lot of games and you're not going to go undefeated because you don't have a defense. You are offense primarily. Patrick Mahomes can elevate the team, but to what extent? Okay? You don't have Tyreek Hill no more. Yeah, you got Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce can be an absolute stud sometimes. But that is like the only weapon that you have on offense. Rashee Rice ain't all that good. Okay? I'm just stating my facts. I don't see Rashee Rice being a top receiver every year. Just like running back wise, you got Derrick Henry, you got James Cook, you got J.K. Dobbins, you got a lot of people out there, bro. Christian McCaffrey used to be on that list. Saquon Barkley's on that list. All right? Dude, you even have Jonathan Taylor up on that list. That's just 5 of the top best running backs. Receiver-wise, don't even get me started, bro. You got Jackson Smith and the Jigba, JSN. You got Jamar Chase. All right? Now, here it is. You're going to be absolutely shocked, but I'm going to put 2 Cowboys players up there too. George Pickens, and you could definitely put CeeDee Lamb up in the top 10. Guaranteed. You could put Cortland Sutton from the Denver Broncos up on there too. He's pushing 600 yards already, and he's still got 9 games left of the season to go. Nico Collins would be on that list, but you know the man got injured. All right? So, yeah, I don't see Isaiah Pacheco, and I don't see Rashee Rice up in there. It's sad that Travis Kelce is leading receiving yards right now for that team. Shut the fuck up. Good gracious. ESPN, you can be annoying sometimes. Look at this, bro. 7 touchdowns by James Cook. Bro, you want to know who I got as my top freaking stuff right now, bro? Do y'all really want to know who I got? Do y'all really want to know who my top quarterbacks are going to be? Because I really hate to do this to people, bro. I really would. So far, with the way the stuff's looking, I got Josh Allen on this one. The only way the Chiefs are going to win is through favoritism and BS calls. And I'm going to keep it a buck. And it's not because my homeboy's a Bills fan. It's because I've seen how Josh Allen plays, dude. I've seen times where the NFL looks like it's scripted because of the BS calls against a team when it's not home field advantage, even when it is. But in all honesty, man, like this is who I have right now. You got Derrick Henry. You got James Cook. You got Devin Achane. Bijan Robinson. Okay? Now hear this. You could put J.K. Dobbins up in there, bro. J.K. Dobbins is pushing what, 700 yards right now? He's already at 600 and some. Breece Hall, I don't know. I mean, right now, he looking good. 581 yards. Yeah, I'll put Breece Hall up there. Breece Hall's going to be one of the top running backs, too. He's probably like number 6 on that list. All right? He's definitely maybe number 6 on that list. Now, let's go through and let's keep scrolling through this shit, all right? Jahmyr Gibbs from Detroit. Put him on that list. Number 7. All right? Let's put Jonathan Taylor up on that list, too. 850 yards, 12 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor looking like an absolute beast. Like this motherfucker woke up and ate nails for breakfast, okay? Jonathan Taylor, you know what? I might have to boost you up to number 1. So far we got Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, James Cook. You got motherfucking Bijan Robinson. You got, Jahmyr Gibbs. You got Josh Jacobs, Javonte Williams. You got J.K. Dobbins. You got Breece Hall. You even have Devin Achane. Christian McCaffrey could be a possibility in that situation. So those are my top picks for running back right now. My top running backs right now, and I'm not even going to lie to you, but with the way stuff are looking, my top receivers, bro, don't get me started on these top receivers, bro. Just don't. Because Justin Jefferson would be probably 11th, if not 10th. He's not looking as good as he did last year. Rome Odunze, bro. I don't know if I said that right. Rome Odunze or whatever. He's the receiver from Chicago, bro. This man be popping off time to time. But he's not on Chris Olave level, all right? Chris Olave would probably be number 10 right now. And then I would give it to Justin Jefferson. All right. And then, and only then, right now, I'm going to be taking George Pickens. I'm going to be taking Jalen Waddle. I'm going to be taking Jamar Chase. I'm going to be taking JSN, Jackson Smith, bro, from Seattle. I'm going to be taking motherfucking CeeDee Lamb. You know what I'm saying? I'll even take Amon-Ra St. Brown. All right? This man be cooking. You feel me? Brian Thomas Jr., he's all right, but it's just Trevor Lawrence don't know how to use him properly. And I'm going to take that to my grave, bro. I will straight take that shit to the motherfucking grave. Stephon Diggs. I mean, this man used to be a top receiver. He looks all right this year, bro, but he's not in my top 10. DK Metcalf. This man's not in my top 10, but he's a good receiver, all right? Zay Flowers. Great player. Not in my top 10. Cortland Sutton would be in my top 10. I would probably push Sutton up to maybe 5th or 6th in this entire list. What do you got to lose? Garrett Wilson, he's out right now. But Garrett Wilson is so underrated too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got Marvin Harrison Jr., bro. Not as good as people thought he would be. Jalen Waddle, he's up there, bro. He's definitely clutching up. Devin Montgomery would also be one of my favorite freaking running backs. I swear to fucking God, dude. I'm going to crash out. Travis Etienne could probably be like maybe top 12, top 15. It just seems like he can't get the job done right now. Quinshon Judkins, my dude. Quinshon Judkins would possibly be top 15. He ain't in my top 10. Kenneth Walker is straight dog water, bro. So now with that being said, with this game, I got the fucking Bills. And I'm not sleeping on Patrick Mahomes, but with his last game where he threw 2 picks and 3 touchdowns, he's not looking like straight freaking dime passing Mahomes like he used to be. You know, this man could have threw 4 touchdowns in the beginning of the season and still went 1-3. But in this game, I got Josh Allen. The defense is impeccable, dude. And it's not just because of James Cook, and it's not because some of his receivers either, bro. Here, we got Sam motherfucking Darnold, dude. Sam McFreaking Darnold, dude. Listen, I'm not going to discredit Sam Darnold, bro. Sam Darnold, after he got traded, or I think he ended up getting booted from the New York Jets, bro. Sam Darnold looked amazing last year with the Vikings. Sam Darnold's looking pretty decent this year for the freaking Seahawks. But you can't sleep on Jaden Daniels, bro. I'm pretty sure he's coming back this game. They just sat him out last game because of his injury, and they didn't want to risk it. But if you look at this lineup right now, Deebo Samuel, Jaden Daniels, Krosky Merritt, not bad players. They are not bad players at all by any means. But you got to think, you're missing out on your one and only star receiver, and that's Terry McLaurin. If Jaden Daniels comes back against the Seahawks, I might have to go Commanders on this. Even though I believe Jackson Smith will probably pop the fuck off. So it's a toss-up, but I think it should be 50-50. It shouldn't be 43-56. You know what I'm saying? I believe that it's going to be 50-50 because you don't know how Jaden Daniels is going to come back off of an injury, and you don't know how Deebo Samuel's going to play either. You feel me? Because, I mean, Kenneth Walker ain't the best at running back, but you still got JSN as a receiver, bro. 819 receiving yards. That is fucking insane. And that's within 7, not 8. That's 7 games he had over. Hold up. You know what? I'm actually going to tell you the fucking stats for Jackson Smith and the Jigba, bro. You guys ain't ready for it. This is why I have him in my lineup for both fantasy. He's a top 2 receiver right now. Now listen to this. He's got 819 yards, 4 touchdowns, and he's 50 for 70 targets. All right? Now listen to this shit. Against San Francisco, week 1, 124 yards, 9 for 13. Week 2, Pittsburgh Steelers, 8 for 10, 103 yards. Against the Saints, 5 for 6, 96 yards. Arizona Cardinals, 4 for 5, 79 yards. Tampa Bay, 8 for 9, 132. Jacksonville, 8 for 13, 162. Houston, 8 for 14, 123. 3 consecutive 100-yard games. And he had a touchdown in every single one. And then he had the 4th one against New Orleans. Like, bro, Jackson Smith and Jigaba is him, dude. I said that completely wrong. I'm just going to call him JSN. But still, this man is a freaking badass. What do you mean, dude? So, yeah, I might have to go either or on this. Either way, it's going to be a score of possibly a touchdown. Either team winning. I don't see it being a big scoring game, dude. But I'll be damn, JSN. Gosh dang, dude. Okay, so between the Falcons and the Patriots, that's going to be a good game to call because New England's on a roll right now. I'm not going to discredit freaking Kirk O'Chains, though. And yes, I said Kirk O'Chains. They got some great players, bro. And I mean, you got Mike Penix Jr., too. Penix ain't off to a bad start this season, man. Looking way better than Geno Smith, I'll tell you that. Why in the fuck is my shit tweaking? Drake May. Could be up in the MVP talk, just like Bo Nix. Bo Nix would have to be number 4 for me, though. Drake May would be number 5. Daniel Jones would be number 3. But, yeah, with all the talk going on, bro, Drake May looks amazing. Stephon Diggs looks amazing. Ramondre Stevenson, I expect more from you. I might have to give it to New England just because they've been on a roll here recently. But you got to think, they got Drake London, they got Bijan Robinson, who's a top running back in my opinion. And they're without Mike Penix Jr., so they're starting Kirk Cousins. And Kirk Cousins didn't come back from a freaking good win either. This man choked. So I'm probably going to have to give it to the Patriots. I like to see more from Ramondre Stevenson and more from Stephon Diggs, but beggars can't be choosers. Chargers versus Titans. I would really hate to be a Titans fan right now. You guys need to work with Cam Ward, bro. Justin Herbert. I'm gonna say this right now. Simmons is not a bad tackle on defense. He's not bad. I don't know how you say that dude's name. I'm just going to call him TT, all right? I'm just going to call him TT. Keenan Allen's not bad. Johnston's not bad as a receiver. Hampton's not bad. Herbert, you can do better, bro. You're not in the MVP talk no more. And that's just coming from me. Patrick Mahomes would take your spot easily. And I'm not going to discredit Justin Herbert. He's made the playoffs multiple times. He just hasn't made it to the Super Bowl. And I would like to see other teams make it other than Kansas City and the Philadelphia Eagles. Give another title shot to the Bengals or the Broncos. Or, even give it to the Chargers or other teams that haven't made it in years. All right. But in this game, I probably have the Chargers. Just because Cam Ward don't have the necessity he needs. So with that being said, Chargers are going to take this dub. Vikings versus Lions. Jared Goff, look at you. What the fuck? Back to what I was saying. Dude, stop scrolling me up. The fuck? This shit is gonna make me mad, bro. It's gonna make me mad. Okay, I'm gonna make this quick and easy. Justin Jefferson, he's looking... Dude, I swear to God. Justin Jefferson looks amazing. Carson Wentz, you're trash. You're trash. If J.J. McCarthy was healthy, this man would be throwing dots. All right. Mason, you're not as bad as I thought. But I'm going to have to give it to Detroit. Detroit's just looking phenomenal right now. Jared Goff is an amazing quarterback. Jahmyr Gibbs, an amazing running back. Plus, you also have David Montgomery. He's another dual threat. You could get the run game going with both of them. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, big tops to you, bro. Taking my hat off, bro. Respect. So that game, I got Detroit versus the Vikings. Packers versus Panthers, that's no question right there, dude. That is no question at all. And that's just me coming out and saying it, bro. Dowdle, Dowdell, or whatever the fuck his name is. He's an amazing running back this season. Josh Jacobs, he's in the top 15 for me, bro. Tyler Kraft looks amazing. I don't know if it's Randall or if it's Romeo Dobbs, but Dobbs looks amazing too. Christian Watkins looks amazing. Jordan Love looks amazing. Bryce Young, he was looking amazing. McMillan looks amazing. So with that being said, I got this one, the Green Bay Packers, bro. Green Bay is going to take it. Ah, man, I remember the good old days of St. Louis Rams, dude. That's when they used to have the freaking stud running back, man. No disrespect here, but this looks right. You got Puka Nacua. You got Kyren Williams. You got Matt Stafford, bro. And you got other receivers out there, bro. They are all nasty, bro. So, I mean, I'm not going to discredit Alvin Kamara, and I'm not going to discredit Chris Olave. But Sam Rattler, you got to get the burr out of your ass, man. Like, respectfully. Because at this point, I got the Rams winning this. Hands down. Let me back out. Cowboys versus Cardinals. Oh, buddy. Buddy, I don't even know who the quarterback is for the Cardinals right now. I think, what's his name is out? Kyler Murray. Let's take a look here. Yeah, Kyler Murray's questionable. Trey McBride is nasty, dude. Trey McBride is freaking a dog, dude. But I got the Cowboys winning this. Because Marvin Harrison Jr. can't get the chains going. He's not a top receiver, in my opinion. So I'm going to have to give it to George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, Javonte Williams, and Dak Prescott, minus the defense. Big W's. And then we're going to look and see. I mean, there's a couple teams I ain't playing this week, but yeah, that's my opinion for this week.